We are back live. Gerald Celente got interrupted by the break. He was making the point that we talk about the criminality by any yardstick in history. This is a on fire, flaming tyranny. They are going through every historical example of oppression and secret police, stuff that when I was growing up was just, everybody knew was Soviet Union or beyond it. Gerald, you were making a point. Please continue.
Yes, the point is, have you seen one head roll? Not one. Hello?
No, I mean, I'm listening. You're right. We haven't seen one.
I mean, I'm asking you.
No.
Have you seen anybody doing any time? I saw Cheney making the rounds, hawking his new book, you know, and all the prostitutes, nobody threw him the hard question. The war was started for fake reasons. You know what his response is? No one can deny that the world is better off without Saddam Hussein. Oh, yeah, my life is great. Everything's dandy without Saddam. Hey, listen, Dick, or is it penis Cheney? You said that they had weapons of mass destruction and ties to Al-Qaeda. You destroyed a whole country. You ruined the lives of so many thousands of our people and slaughtered hundreds of thousands, if not millions of Iraqis. How about the facts? How about bringing him and Bush up on war criminal charges? How about that Tony the Poodle Blair over there in the UK? How about all these people that you mentioned? Not one of them head roll. The only ones that get stopped are you and me and all the rest of the people out there that have become slaves to the system. It's as clear as that.
No, that's it. They're criminals, and they're trying to break our will and train us that we are their prisoners. So what do we do about it, Gerald, and where is it going?
My only solution, and I keep talking about it, is direct democracy. Because any adult thinking that, oh, we're going to give Congress a list of our demands. Oh, yeah, and the Bananos or the Gambinos are going to become nice overnight and listen to you? No, we have to vote. If we could vote for politicians, we can vote for issues. We do not have a representative form of government. The only people they represent are the people that give them money. And people say to me, well, Mr. Celente, if we let the people vote, we'll have mob rule. Yeah, just like we have it now. The mob is ruling. They're called the Republicans and the Democrats. A gang of 535 congressmen telling 312 million people what to do and run our lives? What, are you kidding me or what? They don't represent me. If I could vote on, bank online, I could vote online. You want to take us to war? You want to end the war? You want to keep the war on drugs going? You want to keep reinstituting the Patriot Act? Let the people vote. That, to me, is the only solution.
Well, there's no doubt that our republic is broken. My issue is the awakening is happening. We're going to go to break. We've got 15 more minutes with Gerald. I want to talk about the trends you see coming in the future, because so often we talk about, okay, things are unfolding as you said they would. What do you see in your crystal ball? We're going to break here in a moment, but go ahead and tell us about your latest Trends Journal and the best way to visit the website, Gerald.
Well, the new Trends Journal is going to be out next week, the autumn edition. And it's trendsjournal.com, trendsjournal.com. And as you know, we make it available to everyone. If you can't afford the full price, just fill out the discount request form. Because the more people that keep moving ahead, inspired, and find the greatness within themselves and plan for the future to see what's going to happen before it happens, the better the opportunities and chances are.
You're right. Stay with us.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?
And the guy that heads up the Trends Research Institute is Gerald Celente. Before he leaves us in 15 minutes, we'll tell you where to get the Trends Alerts, the Journal, and more. This is a short segment. We'll come back in the next segment, Gerald. But getting into future trends, you say, well, you're heartened by people actually getting in the streets, even if they're not completely focused. But you were acting like you didn't predict that. I mean, you did say 4 or 5 years ago you'd start seeing taxpayer rebellions, and that's the Tea Party. And we have the Occupy the Fed movement going after the white shoe boys. What do you predict coming up in the future, Gerald?
Well, just going back to that, no, I did predict it. I was just wondering what was taking them so long. And I realized it, that it's not I'm mad as hell anymore and I'm not going to take it. It's not a head issue. Now it's a gut issue. I'm broke as hell and I have nothing to lose. That's very different. And by the way, Alex, I wrote this book, Trends 2000, in 1996. It was a Warner book. It was a national bestseller.
No, I remember my dad reading it. I
predicted in this book the uncivil wars and that people would be taking to Wall Street because of the gap between the rich and the poor. So what we're saying is this is the beginning of the total movement. The entire world economic system is collapsing. So what am I doing? I'm still very heavily invested in gold, and now I've bought some silver. And I'm back in silver because I'm concerned that just as they throw these false flags out there, they're going to start blaming people who buy gold and speculate in the market for crashing the fiat currencies. So as you well know, they regulated the supply and sale of gold before, and I'm concerned they might do that again. So that's why I'm in both precious metals.
Well, I tend to agree with you, Gerald. They're really starting to beat the drum in that direction. So what do? I mean, I'm to the point where I'm buying my gold and I'm not turning it into these crooks.
Well, my gold's away from here. They're not going to be able to get it unless they could swim really far, you know? And so I don't intend to. They're not going to get it. They won't be able to find it unless they go to another country to get it. So having said that, what I'm saying to people is that this is not going to be the autumn of an Arab Spring type. This is going to be the winter of discontent. This thing is collapsing real quick. The issues over in Europe have not gone away. Dexia, that huge bank, that huge French-Belgian bank, collapsed a week ago. Do you know
they've had 5 of them collapse? They've had 5 banks collapse in the last 2 weeks.
But Dexia alone, do you know what it's costing Belgium to bail them out? It's equivalent to 17% of their GDP, 2% of France's GDP. This is one stinking bank. Multiply that. There's no way of bailing them out. Greeks are about $500 billion in debt. The pigs, Portugal, Italy, Ireland, Spain, are $4.5 trillion in debt. They're not going to be able to bail them out. They're only going to keep printing this digital money that's not worth the paper it's not printed on. So we're telling people, be prepared this winter. Oh, you know what they're doing over there in Greece? As though it's not hard enough? They're just raising the costs and taxes on heating fuel, getting ready for the winter. We'll give it to them again. The same thing is going to happen
here. Stay there, Gerald. I want to come back and talk more about trends you see coming up and finish up with the austerity measures hitting Europe and now the United States. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Finishing up with Gerald Celente, if you just joined us, he was getting into the fact that the mainstream corporate prostitutes, as he calls them, continue, and Osama bin Bernanke and the rest of them, to tell us, another one of his funny phrases I love, tell us everything's fine. There's been no recession. It's been over for years. But now they're starting to say, well, it's the greatest challenge since the Great Depression. And their answer is, let these big banker heads steal trillions out the back door, have record bonuses, but then bankrupt the banks and get more taxpayer money, and then lecture us how it's our fault. And that's the only problem with Occupy Wall Street. Some of them don't understand higher taxes, higher regulation. That all goes to the white shoe boys, to the insiders, to the establishment types. And again, white shoe boy, another great Gerald Celente term. But that's kind of the white tuxedo boys. I mean, these are the so-called elite of the elite. They think we exist to be toilet paper for them. And there's no end to their hubris and raw criminal behavior. The good news is I'm reading in Spain and in Greece and other areas, restaurants are all refusing to even charge the VAT, period. You got Herman Cain pushing for new VAT taxes to pay off our, quote, debt here. He means the Federal Reserve he worked for. And so they're going to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. Gerald, will they be successful? Again, how does this end historically, looking into your crystal ball?
Here it is. Autumn 2009. The Second American Revolution has begun. It's happening. It's what you were talking about, Alex. Enough people are waking up. This is real. The white shoe boys are so far out of touch. You listen to the comments by Cain, as you mentioned, Mitt Romney. Let's not look for scapegoats as he chastises the Wall Street protesters. Scapegoats? Oh, no, they're not angry. They're looking for scapegoats. They're looking for financial pigs and corporate vultures just like you, Romney. And then you listen to billionaire Bloomberg. They're protesting against the wrong people. Do you know what Bloomberg said, Alex? Those people on Wall Street, you know what kind of money they're making on average, according to His Honor, the billionaire? Oh, $40,000 or $50,000 a year. Yeah, right. You know what they're making on Wall Street on average, Alex? Try
millions.
$360,000 a year. Oh, that's according to the New York State Comptroller's Office. I'm not making that number up. They're so far out of touch. You see, Bloomberg is right. You know who's making $40,000 or $50,000 a year? The groundskeepers over at the country club. The people that hand them the little washcloths, you know, the servants and the toilets. Those are the people making $40,000 or $50,000 a year. So they have no idea what's going on. We are entering very closely, Alex, to a let them eat cake moment, because that's how far removed they are. The revolution has begun, and they will not admit it. They will try to stop it. They won't be able to.
Well, Gerald, here's my next question for you. I have USA Today here in my hot little hand, and they're saying now, starting at Boston, but then all over the country, they're going to stop and talk to you and ask you where you're going, why you're going, who you're going to visit. They call it a chat down, but they're also going to keep the groping of the genitals, the wave shish kebabbing. And now you're going to have a TSA person, the people literally every day caught robbing and pedophiling and everything else. They're now saying that you're going to have to answer these guys' questions. Listen, that's worse than being put in a barbecue machine, having them act like I've done something wrong. I mean, should I say to them, I need to assess, are you one of these myriad TSA that are pedophiles or that are robbing people's bags? I mean, this is all about a secret police. Now the NFL are going to grope from the ankles up and grab your breast and genitals. And they go, just get tough, take it. It's not that I'm not tough. It's that I want to get angry when somebody sticks their hands between my legs. Okay, that's for my, again, Gerald, how much do we have to take from this bureaucratic, snot-nosed class that works for these filthy bankers?
Exactly, that's it. They're nothing more than enforcers for the political and financial crime bosses. Let's call it what it is, fascism. It's not only the TSA. I mean, you get stopped by a cop. Where you coming from? Where you going? You know, hey, does your mother still have sex with dogs? I mean, that's what I'd like to ask them. You know, I mean, what's going on in this country? We got a bunch of people that are trying to break down our will and our spirit, rob us of our self-respect. And they're doing it because the system is collapsing. And so what they're going to keep doing, as you said, they're going to keep groping and getting inside us as close as they can to break down our will and spirit. They're going to lose.